Hi, I'm David Yu, and today I am doing a very brief initial review of the Porsche GT3, specifically the 992.2, as I borrowed from Auto Vivendi Supercar Club today. Rather beautiful Oakland metallic green with an exposed carbon stripe, which runs right over the roof and onto the rear wing. So it looks lovely. I like the gold wheels. I do prefer the front of the 992.2 with less black plastic, and in this case I think they're probably optional, these nice carbon fibre air guides at the front. So lovely looking car, and a lot of people rave endlessly about GT3s and how great they are, and I've seen how fast they are on track. Very impressive. However, my initial driving impressions are it's very hard, it's very firm. The chassis, you can only select between sport and track. There's no comfort setting. And coming from my Ferrari F8, which obviously has the famous bumpy road button which all modern Ferraris have, Porsche doesn't have any equivalent. And on the 992.2, I believe on the 0.1, a friend of mine sent me a shot of his dash, and it has a separate button there for damper selection. He says it goes between comfort, sport and track, but in this one, the 992.2, it definitely only, you have to dive into menus and stuff, and then you can only select between track and sport. So they have helpfully put this button in here to shortcut adjustment of all the assistant settings. However, you still have to go through, if it's not your own car anyway, I guess it's only an issue if you're borrowing somebody else's car, you have to do all this continuous guest stuff for Porsche Connect services. You have to do that every time you switch the car on, which is quite annoying. But as I said, that's probably not a problem for the owner of the car once they've set themselves up. So you've got the assist button here, and then you can deselect all the assists you want in there. So that's quite nice to put a hard button there, but I can't understand why they took away the hard button for damper control, because surely that's very important. You're going to want to select that according to your drive. But as I said, even in sport, which is the softer of the two settings, this car is really hard riding. Okay, Ferraris are very soft, very compliant, but even my M2, which has been set up with nitron coilovers for track use, that's a lot more compliant than this in sport. So yeah, interesting. Not taking on any twisty roads yet, so I'll reserve judgment on the chassis until then in terms of handling, but certainly the ride is very hard. The road noise is ferocious as well from those rear tyres. It's got 325 section 21-inch rear tyres, and they really drum a lot in it. Exhaust noise is always subjective, but you know, I don't think it sounds anything particularly special. But let's see, maybe I'm missing a point. I'll do a follow-up video and we can discuss further then.